What are the very foods sitting in your kitchen right now? The foods you trust, the foods you may even believe are helping your body, are quietly working against your heart every single day. Imagine spending years trying to make healthier choices, reading labels that say low-fat, natural, whole grain, or heart-friendly, only to discover that some of those choices may be creating hidden pressure inside your body that you cannot see and cannot feel. The human body is fascinating because it often whispers before it screams. Long before a serious health problem appears, the body sends silent signals. The challenge is that many people never notice those signals because life becomes busy. Work deadlines arrive, responsibilities increase, stress grows, and people continue moving through life assuming that if they feel normal, everything must be fine. But blood pressure often behaves differently. It does not always announce its presence with pain or discomfort. It can quietly rise over time while a person continues following the same routines every day. This is why awareness matters so much. Heart health is not built in a single day, and damage rarely happens in a single day either. Small choices repeated over months and years slowly become the story of a person's health journey. A small amount of extra sodium today may not seem important. A highly processed meal tomorrow may not appear dangerous. Another packaged snack next week may feel harmless. Yet sometimes the little decisions people ignore become the ones that slowly shape the future of the heart. Many people believe unhealthy foods are easy to identify. They picture mountains of fast food, sugary desserts, and meals covered in grease. But the truth can be more surprising. Some foods were a disguise. They enter homes with labels promising wellness and balance, while hiding ingredients that can place unexpected stress on the cardiovascular system. The food industry has become incredibly skilled at making products appear healthy even when the complete story is more complicated. Words and packaging create comfort, and comfort creates trust. Trust creates habits. Habits eventually create outcomes. Somewhere in this process, people stop questioning what they place on their plates because familiarity begins to feel like safety. Inspired by the educational approach of Dr. Evan Levine, many discussions about heart health remind us of an important idea that often gets forgotten. The heart is not simply an organ pumping blood through the body. It is a rhythm behind every dream, every memory, every future plan, and every moment shared with people we love. Protecting the heart is not only about avoiding disease. It is about preserving time itself. Imagine discovering years later that the hidden danger was never something dramatic or shocking, but something ordinary that quietly appeared on your table every day. Imagine realizing that the greatest risks are sometimes the ones that never ask for attention because they prefer to remain invisible. Now imagine standing in a grocery store surrounded by thousands of choices, while believing that more options automatically create a healthier life. Bright packaging promises energy, balance, wellness, and vitality. Pictures of grains, vegetables, fruits, and natural landscapes create a feeling of trust before a single ingredient is even read. Many people place these products into their shopping carts with complete confidence because they believe they are making responsible decisions for themselves and for the people they love. Yet there's a quiet reality hidden beneath many labels, and this reality does not always reveal itself immediately. One of the most interesting truths about health is that the body keeps a record of everything. It remembers late nights, constant stress, long periods of inactivity, and repeated food choices. It remembers patterns. The heart especially understands patterns because it works continuously without asking for applause, without demanding attention, and without taking a break. Every minute of every hour of every day, it continues carrying out its responsibility. Most people never think about this invisible loyalty because the heart performs its work in silence. Yet silence should never be mistaken for permission. Some foods considered convenient companions of modern life may slowly introduce hidden sodium, preservatives, and excessive processing into the body. Certain canned soups that appear nourishing, flavored yogurt products that seem healthy, packaged breakfast cereals decorated with words like natural and whole grain, processed deli meats, frozen meals, and even sauces that sit quietly in refrigerators can sometimes contain ingredients that accumulate over time. The danger is not always in a single serving. The mystery exists in repetition. One day becomes another day, and another week becomes another month. Slowly the body adapts while pressure inside blood vessels begins changing in ways that cannot be felt. A person may wake up feeling perfectly normal and continue living with rising blood pressure without realizing anything unusual is happening. That is what makes this story so interesting and also so concerning. The greatest risks do not always arrive with noise. Sometimes they arrive dressed as comfort and routine. Inspired discussions connected to Dr. Evan Levine often remind people that prevention is powerful because once a serious event occurs, many individuals suddenly wish they had listened earlier to the small signals they once ignored. There is something deeply philosophical about that reality because life itself often follows the same principle. People rarely notice the value of something while it quietly protects them every day. Then one moment changes perspective forever. But here is where the suspense begins to grow. Among these seemingly harmless foods are choices that millions of people eat every single morning and every single evening while believing they are helping their health. They are found in kitchens around the world. Parents serve them to children. Adults consume them during busy schedules. Some even carry labels specifically designed to attract health-conscious consumers. And as the list continues, one hidden truth slowly starts emerging from the shadows. Because one of the foods people trust the most may not be what they think it is at all. The truth waiting behind the suspense is both surprising and empowering, because hidden risks become less powerful the moment people begin seeing them clearly. Fear alone does not protect health, but awareness creates choices, and choices create direction. The purpose of understanding these foods is not to create anxiety every time a person sits at a dinner table. The purpose is to understand that health is rarely destroyed by a single meal and is rarely transformed by a single meal either. Life moves through patterns, and the body responds to those patterns with remarkable honesty. Some people become discouraged when they hear that certain foods should be limited because they immediately imagine restriction, sacrifice, and a future without enjoyment. But the reality can be much simpler than that. Replacing heavily processed foods with fresher alternatives does not mean abandoning happiness. It means creating a different relationship with nourishment. For example, instead of choosing packaged soups filled with hidden sodium, many people discover the value of homemade versions prepared with fresh ingredients. Instead of relying on processed deli meats, healthier protein choices can become part of routine that supports long-term wellness. Instead of believing every label that promises heart health, people can learn the powerful habit of reading ingredients with curiosity rather than assumption. The goal is not perfection because perfection often creates frustration and eventually leads people back to old habits. The goal is awareness followed by progress. Inspired educational conversations connected with Dr. Evan Levine often emphasize that small, consistent improvements can create meaningful changes over time because the human body has an incredible ability to respond positively when given better conditions. A person does not need to change an entire life overnight. Sometimes one healthier breakfast becomes a beginning. Sometimes reducing sodium becomes a beginning. Sometimes choosing water instead of sugary beverages becomes a beginning. Small decisions repeated enough times stop feeling like effort and slowly become identity. There's also something deeply philosophical about protecting the heart because people spend much of life chasing distant goals while forgetting the machine that allows every dream to exist in the first place. Individuals chase careers, financial security, recognition, and achievements while assuming the body will simply continue supporting every ambition forever. But the heart quietly asks for partnership. It asks for respect. It asks for attention before emergency becomes necessity. Perhaps that is one of the most important lessons hidden within this discussion. The body does not seek punishment and does not demand impossible standards. It simply responds to what it receives day after day. The future health of the heart is not being written during one dramatic moment. It is being written during ordinary moments that appear small enough to ignore. It is written at breakfast tables, during grocery shopping, during quick snacks between responsibilities, and during quiet choices made when nobody else is watching. Those moments seem ordinary until years later, when people realize that ordinary moments were creating extraordinary outcomes all along. The most powerful thing anyone can remember today is that knowledge becomes valuable only when action follows it. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.